It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk now at 6:40 in the morning on this Monday morning. Good morning. Ring doorbells. I've got friends who have them. I've even been captured on one of them, leaving a party and whispering into the Ring doorbell. It was kind of funny because right once we left, the friend, he clipped that video and sent it to me. It was humorous, and I think that there's a lot of humorous Ring doorbell footage that you see all the time, and it's something that as well is also used for law enforcement. I know that Springfield police have time and again been asking for residents of Springfield to essentially allow them access to their Ring doorbell cameras, especially if there's crime in the area. But I want to hear from you at 217-629-7970. Ring doorbells, do you have one? Do you use it? Would you be submitting your Ring doorbell footage to a TV show that's now starting up called Ring Nation? Here is a Yahoo online series that kind of delves into some pop culture type things to kind of discuss this a little bit. Here on YouTube, you could find this, the Doorbell reality TV show Ring Nation that kind of highlights some of the various ins and outs of this particular TV show.
MGM Television working on a viral video show. And guess what? It's based on footage from Ring security cameras titled Ring Nation. So the show is a surveillance-tinged spin on America's Funniest Home Videos. According to a report in Deadline, the show will consist of neighbors saving neighbors, marriage proposals, military reunions, and silly animals. Of course, both MGM Television and Ring are owned by Amazon.
So what do you think about this? 217-629-7970. There's already some criticism that this is a way of, popularizing surveillance culture. And is this where we want to go by having people, popularize a video surveillance system that's on your doorbells? Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Of course I'm voting for you in that contest.
By the way, Illinois Times, best of. If you want to, you can vote for me. Today's the final day to vote, so be sure to tell your friends.
Yeah, but yes, I love my Ring doorbell. It's cool being able to answer your door when you're in a different state.
Yeah, and I get that too. And that's one thing that I think every homeowner would want to be able to see is, who's coming onto my property while I'm out of town, while I'm at work. Are there packages that have been delivered that my neighbor should go pick up while I'm away?
Yeah.
That's helpful. Absolutely.
Yeah. And Ring's got their own community, so you can go look and see what's going on in your neighborhood, and people are like, this guy came up to my door. Has he been to yours? Watch out, that kind of thing.
And I've seen that as well, especially recently. I've seen several videos of one particular individual sharing with the community on social media, not just within Ring Doorbell's community, but in his particular physical community. He's shared videos of people coming up on his porch and stealing his bike. Some other kid came up like 3 or 4 times and rang the doorbell and kind of hung out and waited to see if anybody was home. I don't know if he was testing to see, if he could possibly get away with something.
In the joint.
Yeah, exactly right. So that's useful. I get that.
Yeah.
But do you foresee yourself participating in this TV show? Wanda Sykes is going to host it. It's called Ring Nation. But it's going to be like America's Funniest Videos, right?
Yeah. If I had something stupid, I'd send it to him, but I've not caught any fun things on my Ring camera.
Well, you know what this is going to do, though, right? It's going to cause people to fake.
You're
things, right. It's going to make, people, oh, look at that person. He tripped. He didn't really trip. Or, look at this dance routine this mailman did. Oh, it's funny. It was fake.
Yeah, right. Yep, that's it. Or you get some guy whispers into your camera while he's leaving.
Right, exactly. I had a designated driver that night, all right? But I appreciate the call and appreciate your vote of confidence. 217-629-7970. Ring Doorbell, getting some criticism from some civil rights groups saying that this new show, Ring Nation, it's popularizing surveillance culture. What do you think? Good morning, you're on WMAY.
Yeah, I definitely would not be submitting my personal information, and that's essentially all you're doing to a nationwide TV show. So let me tell you something real quick. There's an app called Nextdoor. It's like a community group thing. Have you heard of it?
I have, yeah. And it really depends upon the community that you're in, taking part in that, but it's pretty useful, yeah.
Okay, well, a lady was up using the bathroom at 2:30 in the morning, and she knew nothing of the better. But the next day, she decided to review her Ring doorbell cameras, and she caught two guys with basically AR-15s looking through her window.
Whoa.
Somehow they had made it into the front door, but she had been up using the bathroom, and she thinks around that time is when they heard her coming out of the bathroom. So the Ring doorbell showed them taking off, jumping the fence, and jumping back in the car and leaving. And that was here in town.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's frightening, and that's not the type of thing you want to see on your Ring doorbell. No question about that. Wow.
All right, well, have a good morning, Greg.
Hey, you too. Appreciate it. Happy Monday. So I want to hear from you at 217-629-7970, a new TV show that's coming out. Wanda Sykes, popular comic, going to be hosting it. Apparently, it's going to be very similar to America's Funniest Videos, which I remember watching all the time when I was a kid. Just every Sunday, it was a ritual, and you'd laugh and you'd cry, and you'd see some really intimate moments and some funny, home videos that people would submit. But this takes it to a different degree, right? If it's surveillance video, and I imagine that the producers are going to want to make it fun. They're going to want to make it funny. You might see some, people flatulating. For instance, you might see some people doing proposals or, funny delivery men or funny Halloween type of instances of people getting scared. But there's a lot of civil rights groups that are critical of this, saying that it popularizes surveillance culture, and that's something I think that we all should really be mindful of with the technology that we carry around every day. I mean, the cell phones you have in your pocket, the new vehicles you're driving with GPS built into it, and the ability for you to turn your car on or off remotely, or to be able to find where your son or daughter are at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's useful, but at the same time, it can be abused. So there's a host of different civil rights organizations that are critical of this TV show seeming to popularize surveillance culture. I want to hear from you. What do you think? Ring TV. It's a show that's going to come out soon, apparently. MGM is going to be producing it. It's going to be America's Funniest Video-esque, but people critical that it's merely just popularizing surveillance culture. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
I can almost guarantee sprinkled in there will be some Amazon Prime boxes held very, very perfectly by a paid actor delivery driver doing something funny. Because like you said, it's all promotion from Amazon.
Yep.
At the end of the day, that's the sort of thing that they're really pushing on us. I mean, I do kind of agree with you a little bit that the surveillance state is becoming more and more normalized, but I think that's kind of happening anyway without shows like this. But hands down, this is a marketing campaign by Amazon. They'll be holding those Prime boxes a very certain way and smiling the whole time doing it because the money will be coming in.
Yeah, and listen, more power to them if they want to do that. We don't necessarily have to buy into that, but at the same time, I think it's important and healthy that we have civil rights organizations raising a flag on this and saying, listen, you got to be cautious, you got to be careful, you have to understand what surveillance culture could ultimately lead to. Have you ever heard of the the panopticon?
I've been listening to you for 20 years. We've both been saying this publicly about everywhere we go. I don't think it's making a bit of difference. The public falls for the marketing campaign.
Don't be a pessimist. Come on.
I wasn't. Before COVID, I wasn't.
I understand that. I appreciate the call, and I think it's something that, regardless of what we may see as people just being more accepting to it, it's important that we still continue to raise those flags and bring it to the people's attention. So appreciate you. Have a good morning. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Here's a statement from a letter of civil rights groups. They say Ring has a long history of using racially coded dog whistles and weaponizing race to promote their products, and the accompanying Neighbors app gamifies the profiling and criminalization of black and brown individuals. Footage from Ring cameras was used to track and monitor protesters who were on the streets exercising First Amendment rights. There are also isolated incidents of racial profiling and racist policing at core of the Ring business model. And that's according to these civil rights groups. I take it even further, not necessarily talking about race, just about the surveillance culture in general, and something that's important that we just be mindful of. But at the same time, I can also see individuals using them for their own personal safety, and I don't push back on anybody doing that, or police encouraging the community, if you have these, to provide them to law enforcement. But it takes it to a different stage when you are popularizing it on a TV show similar to America's Funniest Videos. And you can guarantee, as the caller previously had pointed out, it's just going to be a huge marketing campaign for Amazon, which, I mean, really isn't all TV shows. Isn't that what's at the core of it? So yeah, kind of fascinating. Appreciate you guys taking part this early in the morning.